jibing in 20 miles an hour. It's important to get the boat moving as fast as possible so that the boat experiences less force from the wind through the jibe.
All right, ready to jibe? Yep, coming around. Nice jibe, baby. All right, coming up some.
As is often the case with the sport of sailing, the faster you're moving, the more control you actually have.
We're gonna get up there and check in. Let's go board down. Thank you. All right, here we go. Coming up, way back forward. Yes, ma'am.
We're going to talk a lot about sailing in this video. Most specifically, I want to talk about keeping the boat stable. There's three scenarios that we're going to look at. The first is sailing upwind here. You can see I'm easing my mainsail out a little bit to flatten the boat. I could flatten the boat more, but neither Carrie or I are afraid of a little bit of heel. So we let her heel up, and we actually use that to point a little bit higher for as long as we can until the boat starts to slow down. And then we ease the mainsail out, not to flatten the boat, although it does that, but actually to drive the boat back down, accelerate, and then we'll do the whole thing again. I'll pull the mainsail back in, we'll heel up, and we'll take our ups. We'll point high there. The other two, so long story short, is if you do want to flatten the boat out for whatever reason, easing the mainsail upwind, you can flatten the boat out all day. Downwind is exactly the opposite. You'll actually pull the mainsail in a little bit to stabilize the boat downwind because you can't ease the mainsail to where she would luff. We're going to talk more about that in just a little bit. Here, Carrie and I are sailing upwind, getting numbers before a race. We're going to look at a start and a spinnaker set, so stay tuned and I'll chime back in when we get to that point.
55, it's a big lift. 59. Port boat coming over here. Oh, that's neat. Look at that. What's that? We're way freaking up. All right, well, I guess let's at least tack and see what a header looks like. Ready? What's the number? 156? 146. There's a, well, yeah. Well, I mean, I was kind of just pinching. 157. I mean, but look at this. We're on the long tack right now. This is actually the favored tack. Yeah. So that's weird, huh? I guess it's just this really skewed course then. What that means. So 154, but we should see even bigger lifts over here. So let's get left, huh? All right, correct the bang. Maybe not all the way. Coming down.
Due to technical difficulty, I don't have any video of Carrie and I starting together. So this video of my good friend Barrett Rhodes and I starting at Lake Norman will have to suffice. Don't make fun of my whistling. I'm just trying to shed some nerves before the first race.
I want to hike. I'm a big boy.
All right, 210 here. What do you think?
205. Yeah, about that time. Yeah. I mean, you're the, you know the drill. We're just gonna go find that hole.
Yeah.
Middle inch.
3 stacks.
touch left right now, I think.
Do you think it's left? Well, I think it's dying too. Like, I think we're gonna be in a lull here for a little bit. I think that if there's breeze on the course anywhere at the start, it's gonna be on the right.
It's right now, and there's more coming from the right, but we just need to. We're not going over there for it. We're letting it come to us and taking it to the left. You know?
Right. 1 minute and 30
1:25 now.
Here. Now, do we want pin?
We don't want pin. Right now, we want middle-ish.
Yeah, look at that breeze on the right.
I mean, it's a touch pin, but I don't want to go down here because there's nothing over there left right now.
Such a hard decision because you got
Middle.
breeze on the right. Yeah.
Middle. We're gonna go middle.
Okay.
Puff. We're gonna drive out left. We're gonna hope to get headed. We're gonna tip.
That would be true.
1 minute.
Let's get down there a little bit then.
It's going right a little bit with this pressure. See it?
Yeah, it's going right a little bit in the breeze. Hopefully we can connect on some of that righty up there. We only have a minute. Let's get down here as fast as possible.
I'm trying, brother. Let's race.
We've got plenty of room to wind, don't we?
Yeah, we got plenty of room. You're too
Here comes
going.
Brian. He's going to bring me the lure first.
I don't want to jump yet. I want to get here.
Oh, we have to.
Okay. You're gonna come in below you. Keep it down. You're all pretty close, bro. Stop it here. You got 25 seconds.
Okay.
Stay right here. 20 seconds.
I need a little Jim.
15. All right, let's get up to speed. You got 12, 11. We need to go, Tyler. Go. Go. Bow down. You got a huge hole. Put the bow down and drive. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
We're right on it. We're right on it. We're right on it.
2. Go, 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 go. Hard enough to race.
We're right on that.
I will take this opportunity to mention that not only should skippers not yell at their crew, but crews should not yell at their skippers. That being said, if it's windy and hard to hear, then we should not mistake talking loudly, speaking loudly, or yelling loudly to be heard over the wind as actual yelling. I will also mention that Barrett was wrong to tell me to go when he did. I have a philosophy. What I've noticed is that teams work best if nobody speaks when they're wrong, and he was wrong to have said that. Obviously, everybody is wrong sometimes. What I mean to say is be very confident in what you're saying on the boat. Try not to lead the boat in the wrong direction. We're on board with Thomas Yankee and Melanie Dunham here as they demonstrate putting the spinnaker up and a jibe and what to do when sailing downwind in big breeze. Now that Melanie's pulled the spinnaker up, she's going to put the spinnaker pole on. I'm going to walk us through these details on board on an onboard camera here in just a second. I'll go ahead and mention the spinnaker pole goes on the opposite side as the boom because it serves to hold the spinnaker out away from the mainsail. Going on board now, first we're going to jibe. Notice Thomas, the skipper, whips the main sheet right there at the boom block in order to keep it from getting caught on the back of the boat. That's a good trick that should be practiced to keep the main sheet from getting caught on the back of the boat. Now Melanie's going to pull the spinnaker up here. Some crews do it differently. There's different rigging so that the skipper can sometimes pull the spinnaker up. But here Melanie pulls it up and the skipper gets it flying. Now that it's flying, she's going to put the pole on. She clips it to the, of course, outside spinnaker sheet there opposite the boom. Again, hold it out from the main sheet. Now she's going to put hold it out from the boom. Keep it out away from the mainsail. Now she's going to put the topping lift on there. You see now the pole is dangling. She reclips the guy because it came out, and she clips the pole on the mast. The guy is the side of the spinnaker sheet that has the pole clipped to it. So that spinnaker sheet on the starboard here that has the pole clipped to it is what we refer to as the guy. Now they've switched. Melanie has the sheet and the guy is in the guy cleat. She's going to work the leech of the sail, continuing to ease the spinnaker until the leech starts to curl. You can't see it in the picture there. Now you're starting to be able to. If Thomas would just look up, You'll see she's easing that right there until that leech curls. You just saw that in the spinnaker, and then she pulls it back in. Now, as far as keeping the boat stable in big breeze, you'll see here the boat's going to start to power up, and Thomas is coming up here to stabilize the boat. When he is reaching high, the boat will heel to leeward, and he wants to drive the boat down in order to keep it in order to stabilize the boat. Here, he's all the way down by the lee, which means the wind is actually coming in a little bit from the left side of the boat. This is when the boat wants to heel to windward. You see that there, and that is counteracted by driving the boat up, which you're going to watch him do here. He's going to sheet in and drive the boat up, and you'll see the boat stabilize here. So this is what you need to know to keep the boat stable downwind. You'll see it start to rock, and then he drives up, sheets in, and drives up to stabilize it. Vice versa, if he were reaching real high with the spinnaker up and it started to heel to leeward, then he would simply drive down and not necessarily sheet out, since we are trying to stabilize the boat here. A lot of experts will refer to this as driving the boat underneath the sails, and it might be easier for the skipper to think of it this way. Instead of leeward, if you heel to leeward, drive down. If you heel to windward, drive up. Drive the way the mast is pointing, and the boat will drive right underneath the sails. Be careful not to auto jibe, of course, and we'll watch them jibe here. You can see Melanie unhooked the spinnaker pole from the guy and the mast, and now she's rehooking it on what was the sheet will now be the guy on the new side, and hooking it up to the mast. And away they go. One other thing that I'll mention is that in big breeze, if your guy hook is rigged so that it cleats on the deck, which I think is the best way to have it rigged, because it's easier to trim the guy this way. And it's also, as long as it's in the cleat, it's pulling on the boat, not on your hand, which is faster. But in big breeze, it can take some teamwork to either ease it or get it back. Both crew need to have their hands on that guy hook to let the pull forward or to pull the pull back together, which is what Thomas and Melanie are doing here. In the interest of being thorough, I will show here how a skipper can use his tiller extension hand to free up his other hand to help around the boat. When I teach, I always like to talk about freeing up a hand while you're sailing. You can of course use the cleat, however, proper form would suggest that you keep the main sheet out of the cleat in case you get hit by a puff, and then you can ease the sail out and everything will be okay. Now, another time it's nice to free up a hand is when you're tacking. So I do that by using my main sheet, bringing it to my tiller extension hand. This is all made possible by me using the tiller extension in front of my body like I have it now. It increases the feel that I have when I sail, as well as my ability to hand over hand my main sheet in. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not talk about capsizing. The nice thing about a boat that will capsize is that if you do ever get out of control, the boat lays on her side in the soft water rather than staying out of control. It's actually much safer. The Flying Scud is a very stable boat, still the same. There's 80 pounds of lead in the bottom of the centerboard helping to keep her stable. But in an extreme situation, she will lay on her side. And we're going to show you what to do in that instance in order to keep the boat on her side here. After about 30 minutes of trying, they're finally going to get the boat over. There they go. They're going to head for the top of the mast. And Melanie's going to hold the mast. The crew there is going to hold the mast. Thomas is going to come up to make sure that everybody's okay. She's going to hold the mast as an insurance policy that the boat doesn't go all the way over. And as the boat lays on her side, she doesn't fill with water. It's really nothing more than a leisurely swim. Thomas is going to climb over the high side now by laying in the seat. And then it's just like climbing a ladder. He's going to step up onto the mast here. Actually, he's going to go the hard way. He could have just gotten in the seat and then stepped up, but still the same. It's not much more than climbing a ladder, and he's going to come down right there. He's standing on the centerboard, and he'll lean back. If Melanie wanted to, she could go ahead and grab hold of the seat down there and get scooped with the boat. But because this boat has a swim ladder, it's not necessary to scoop the crew here. And they're upright. No big deal. As always with sailing, just make sure you stay cool, calm, and collected. And remember, it's nothing more than a leisurely swim.